It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong, I said. Sometimes my mother was a diamond. The hardest known mineral since antiquity, diamonds can only be scratched by other diamonds. Goldsmiths like to call it tough love, but my brother and I knew it as childhood. A time we wish lasted half the length it did, living in a home whose walls we felt safer outside of. He and I were pebbles, who spent our years trampled beneath the jeweled heels of galloping horses. Every step was another gem stomping on our necks, another slap into the gravel. My mother tried to coax beauty into ugly stones like us by powdering our faces to dust. But we were just pebbles, worthless until treated otherwise, made for tossing in the river to see how many times we could skip before we drowned, to see how wide our ripples would spread, each one a little more lifeless than the next. She tied necklace chains around our wrists and studded belts across our backs. Another gem is good for your posture, she said. No wonder she only fed us organic foods, insisting on natural but bitter ingredients. We drank orange juice only if it had been beaten from pulp, downed vinegar with every mouthful of discipline. At least we were well-behaved children. Once in a while, I catch a glimpse of the scars. The sight of them surprises me because I rarely look at those places on my brother's body anymore. But I've learned that pain doesn't become invisible if you avoid making eye contact with it. Hatred cannot become a better man unless you let him escape from the prison you built. And so I've stopped trying to understand what you were thinking when you sewed his lips together with needle and string, while he was forced to sleep in the garage for a month, how I stuck leftovers to the basement because his hunger was never a metaphor. I have come to terms with the fact that I may not find the answers to these questions. But forgiveness requires of me that I stop asking, because I've always known why. The answer is that sometimes love is a diamond who we cannot blame for being the sharpest and strongest jewel. Love is a beautiful knife, like the blade she once held at his throat. And love may act like a murderer, but it will not take your life. Because love also saves you from the people that love you so much that they hurt you. Mama, 3 months ago, you hugged me for the first time. My gut reaction was to raise my arms in self-defense, but I froze up instead, locking them to my sides like an orphan, finally meeting the one who gave her away. I didn't know where to put my arms, didn't know how to reply because tender hands had never been a part of your body language before, but your touch that day was round and quiet and gentle enough to hold someone as fragile as a pebble.